Talk English Vault.
Learn English with podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Talk English Vault. I'm Nadia, and it is so great to have you here with us today.
And I'm Theo. And today, I'm feeling a little bit nostalgic because we are talking about the past.
We are. Today's episode is all about talking about past events in English. And I love this topic because, think about it, so much of every conversation involves the past. What you did last weekend, where you grew up, a funny thing that happened to you, a trip you took, a moment you'll never forget.
All of that lives in the past tense, and if you can talk about the past naturally and fluently, your English conversations become so much richer and more interesting.
And the cool thing about today's episode is we're not going to sit here and lecture you about grammar rules. We're just going to talk, like we always do, about our own past experiences, real and imaginary. And naturally, all the past tense language will just come out.
So you'll hear how it sounds in real conversation, and along the way, we'll point out the phrases and structures we're using, just casually, so you know exactly what to grab for yourself.
It's going to feel like a chat with friends, which is honestly the best kind of English lesson, if you ask me. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
Before we start sharing stories, let's just chat about why talking about the past is such a fundamental part of English conversation, because I think it's more important than people give it credit for.
Oh, completely. And you know what I find interesting? When you think about it, almost every conversation you have with someone you're just getting to know is about the past. Where did you grow up? How did you end up in this city? What did you study? Have you ever been to...
Right, because the past is where your story is, and people connect with stories. When you share something that happened to you, a memory, an adventure, a difficult moment, people lean in, they relate. That's where real connection happens.
And it's not just personal conversations. At work, you talk about past projects. In interviews, you talk about past experiences and challenges. When you travel, you describe places you've been. The past tense is genuinely everywhere.
And in English specifically, there are a few different ways to talk about the past. You've got the simple past, I went to Paris, the past continuous, I was walking through the market when, and the present perfect, I've been to Paris. Each one has its own feel and its own purpose.
But here's the thing. We're not going to break those down in a dry grammar textbook way. We're just going to use them in natural stories, and hopefully you'll start to feel intuitively when each one fits.
Which is honestly how native speakers learn them, not by memorizing rules, but by hearing the language in context again and again until it just felt right.
Exactly. Okay, let's start telling some stories. Nadia, tell me something that happened to you recently, or not even recently, just something that makes a good story.
Okay, I've got one. So this happened a few years ago when I was traveling in Japan. I had always wanted to visit Japan. It was genuinely on my bucket list for years. And finally, I booked the trip and flew out in April, which is cherry blossom season.
Oh, perfect timing.
The perfect timing, exactly. So I arrived in Tokyo, and honestly, the first day I was completely overwhelmed. I didn't speak any Japanese. I couldn't read the signs. The subway system was enormous. I remember standing in the middle of Shinjuku Station, which is apparently the busiest train station in the world, and just thinking, I have absolutely no idea where I am.
Oh, no.
So I was standing there looking completely lost, and this woman came up to me. She was probably in her 60s, very smartly dressed, and she said in perfect English, "You look like you need some help."
That's so kind.
It was, and she spent the next 20 minutes walking me through exactly how to use the subway. She even walked me to my platform. I was so grateful. I nearly cried, honestly. And then she just bowed politely and walked away. I never even caught her name.
Oh, that's such a lovely story. I've heard that about Japan. People are incredibly kind and helpful.
They really are. And the trip ended up being one of the most incredible experiences of my life. But I'll never forget that woman in Shinjuku Station.
Okay, so listeners, did you catch all the past tense language in that story? Let's just pull out some of the key bits naturally. Nadia used, I had always wanted to visit. That's the past perfect. It means the wanting happened before the trip. It's like a past before a past.
Right. And then once the story started, once I was actually in Japan, I switched to simple past. I arrived. I couldn't read. She came up to me. She spent 20 minutes.
And there were a couple of past continuous moments, too. I was standing, I was traveling, which give a sense of things that were ongoing at a particular moment in the past.
The past continuous is great for setting scenes, like you're painting the background of the story. I was walking, it was raining, people were rushing past. That kind of thing creates atmosphere.
Love it. Okay, my turn. Let me think of a good one.
Okay, I'm going to go further back. This is a childhood memory. So, when I was about 9 years old, my dad decided that our family was going to go camping for the summer holidays. And I want to be clear, we were not a camping family. We had never camped before in our lives.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
So Dad bought a tent, a big green tent, and a whole load of equipment he had no idea how to use. And we drove out to this campsite in the countryside on a Friday evening. It was already getting dark by the time we arrived.
Not ideal for first-time campers.
Not ideal at all. So there we were, Dad trying to put up the tent in the dark, Mum holding a torch, and me and my sister sitting on the grass just watching this disaster unfold.
Oh, that image is so funny.
It took him about 2 hours. 2 hours! And when he finally got it up, and I say got it up loosely because it was leaning at quite an angle, it started to rain.
No!
Yes, it absolutely poured, and within about 20 minutes, the bottom of the tent was wet, my sleeping bag was damp, and Dad, who'd been so enthusiastic about this whole adventure, was sitting there in the dark looking completely defeated.
Aw, poor Dad.
And then, and this is the bit I love, Mum just calmly said, "Right, I've booked us into a hotel. The car is still running." She had booked a hotel before we'd even left home, just in case.
That is brilliant. Your mom is a genius.
She absolutely is. And we checked into this lovely little country hotel, had a hot meal, and slept in proper beds. Best camping trip I ever went on.
I love that story so much. Okay, so again, full of amazing past tense language. You used simple past throughout the main action. He bought a tent, we drove out, it started to rain, she had booked a hotel.
And there was that lovely past perfect at the end. She had booked a hotel before we'd even left home. The booking happened before the leaving, so it goes further back in time. That's the past perfect doing its job.
And I loved, there we were, Dad trying to put up the tent. That structure, there I was, doing something, is so vivid and natural for storytelling. It really puts the listener right there in the scene.
Yes, it's one of my favorite storytelling structures in English. There I was, standing in the rain. There we were, completely lost. It feels very cinematic.
Completely cinematic. Okay, let's keep going. Can we do one more? I want to do a different kind of past event, not a travel story or a childhood memory, something more everyday.
Ooh, yes. Let's do something that went wrong. Because honestly, the stories we tell most often are the ones where something went a bit sideways.
So true. Okay, I'll go. So this was last year. I had a really important job interview for a position I genuinely really wanted. I had prepared for weeks. I knew the company inside out. I had practiced my answers. I felt ready.
Building up to something bad happening.
So the interview was at 10 o'clock in the morning. I set 2 alarms the night before. I laid out my outfit. I went to bed early. And then I woke up at 9:45.
Oh no. Oh no.
The first alarm had gone off, and I had turned it off in my sleep without even knowing. And the second alarm, I had set it for PM instead of AM.
That is a classic mistake. I've done that.
So I woke up, looked at my phone, and my heart just dropped. I jumped out of bed, threw on my clothes. I didn't even have time to eat breakfast, called a taxi, and got there at 10 past 10. 10 minutes late.
How did the interview go?
So I walked in, completely flustered, and I was completely honest. I said, I am so sorry I'm late. I overslept, and I have no excuse. But I am here, and I am fully prepared. And they actually laughed, and the interview went really well.
Did you get the job?
I did. They said later they appreciated that I was honest rather than making up some complicated excuse about traffic.
That's such a great outcome and a great lesson. Honesty really does go a long way. Okay, so let's just notice the language there. Lots of simple past action verbs moving the story forward fast. I woke up, I jumped out, I threw on my clothes, I called a taxi, I walked in.
When you're telling a story about something exciting or dramatic, short, punchy, simple past verbs speed the story up. They create urgency. I woke up, I looked at my phone, my heart dropped.
And then there was lovely use of past perfect for the preparation the night before. I had prepared for weeks, I had set 2 alarms, I had laid out my outfit. That all happened earlier before the main story, so it uses had plus the past participle.
And I think what listeners often find tricky is knowing when to use simple past versus past perfect. And honestly, the simplest way to think about it is if something happened before another past event, use had. Otherwise, just use simple past and you'll almost always be right.
Such a clean way to put it. Okay, let's just have a friendly chat about the most useful phrases and expressions for talking about the past, because I think that's really what listeners want to take away.
Okay. So, just naturally, what are the phrases you find yourself using most when you're talking about past events?
For me, the time phrases are huge, because in English, you almost always anchor a past event to a time. A few years ago, back in school, when I was about 12, last summer, at the time, in those days. These little phrases immediately set the scene and tell the listener roughly when something happened.
Yes, and I'd add the sequence phrases for telling a story in order. First, then, after that, eventually, suddenly, at that point, a moment later, in the end.
Suddenly. Oh, that one is so useful for dramatic moments. Like in my Japan story. Suddenly, this woman appeared. It creates that little spike of surprise.
It really does. And what about for sharing feelings and reactions in the past? Because that's such an important part of making a story feel alive.
Oh, so useful. Things like, I couldn't believe it. I was absolutely stunned. I felt this wave of relief. I remember thinking to myself, I had no idea what to do. I was completely speechless.
I remember thinking to myself. That one is really beautiful for storytelling. It pulls the listener right inside your head at that moment in the past.
Right. It's almost like a flashback within the story. And I love looking back now for when you want to reflect on a past experience from your current perspective. Like, looking back now, I realize how nervous I was. Or, at the time I didn't appreciate it, but looking back now.
That's such a mature, reflective use of language, and it works so well for talking about lessons learned or how you've grown, which, again, comes up a lot in job interviews.
Massively. And one more thing, the present perfect for talking about life experiences generally, not tied to a specific time. I've been to Japan, not I went to Japan in 2019, just I've been to Japan. It's like a stamp in your life passport.
I love that, a stamp in your life passport. And once someone responds and wants to hear more, then you switch to simple past and tell the story. Oh, you've been to Japan. When did you go? And off you go.
Exactly. The present perfect opens the door, the simple past walks through it.
That is such a good way of putting it. I'm using that forever.
It's yours. Okay, your Talk English Vault Challenge for this week. And this one is genuinely fun.
We want you to think of one story from your past. It could be anything.
A travel memory, a childhood moment, something funny, something that went wrong, something you're proud of, any story that means something to you.
And then tell it out loud in English, just to yourself, into your phone, in the mirror, wherever you feel comfortable. Try to use at least 5 past tense verbs and at least 2 time phrases.
Then, come to the YouTube comments and tell us the title of your story. Even just one sentence, the time I got lost in a foreign city, or my first day at a new school, just the headline.
We would love to read them. And if you want to share the full story, please do. This community will absolutely love hearing from you.
Because stories are how we connect in any language, and your story in English is absolutely worth telling.
If today's episode helped you, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps our channel reach more English learners around the world.
Subscribe to Talk English Vault and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. New conversations every single week.
And share this with someone who's learning English, especially someone who loves a good story, because today's episode was full of them.
Until next time, keep telling your stories.
Keep living new ones to tell, and keep building your English one conversation at a time. See you next episode.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye. See you soon.